This is Late Edition News at 10 with Ann Gownley. Sports with Eric DeBerardinis. And meteorologist Joe Garbacek.
Details have been released on the armed robbery which took place in the area of 9th and James Streets in the city of Hazleton Monday night. Police now need your assistance in locating the two suspects, and tonight it's our top story. Good evening, this is WYLN's Late Edition, Greater Hazleton's only local news broadcast for Tuesday, October 21st, 2014. I'm Ann Gownley. As WYLN reported to you last night, a man was robbed at gunpoint in the area of 9th and James Streets in Hazleton. Police are still searching for the suspects who approached the victim around 10 p.m. with a gun and demanded money. The first suspect is described as a black male with a thin build, around 5 foot 5 inches tall, with bushy black hair, wearing a white t-shirt. The second suspect is a black male around 6 feet 1 inches tall with a thin build, wearing a dark hooded sweatshirt. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Hazleton City Police Department at 570-459-4940 or dial 911. A Freeland man was taken into custody on Monday on 24 felony counts of possessing and sharing child pornography on his computer. 35-year-old Anthony Stefovic of Walnut Street was charged with 22 counts of child pornography and 1 count each of disseminating photo of film of child sex acts. Law enforcement from the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General's Child Predator Section is investigating this case along with the Freeland Police Department. According to arrest papers, an online investigation into those possessing and sharing child porn using peer-to-peer file sharing on August 27th. Several suspected child pornography files were linked to a computer on Stefanic's home. A search warrant was served just after 8:30 a.m. Stefanic admitted to police that he downloaded child porn for the past year and says he deletes the files after they are downloaded. Stefanic was arraigned by District Magistrate James Dixon and is now behind bars, unable to post a $100,000 bail. A man who fathered 6 children with a girl who he began sexually assaulting when she was 15 years old pled guilty to sexual assault and child endangerment charges. 46-year-old John Dehart, formerly of Hanover Township, will face a 5-year mandatory minimum prison sentence and was ordered to complete sex offender therapy on a count of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a person under 16 years of age. Police allege that Dehart called the 15-year-old his wife during a long-term relationship that produced 6 children. He was first arrested in October of 2013 on 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. Dehart was charged in April in the sexual assault case where it states that he started having sex with the teen once a week when she was 15. Dehart remains behind bars at the Luzerne County Prison and was ordered by a judge to not have any unsupervised contact with minors and to avoid schools, parks, playgrounds, libraries, and pools. He will be sentenced on February 13th of 2015. A 20-year-old Mahanoy City man who triggered a false alarm in the city back in October of 2013 was found guilty by a jury in Schuylkill County Court. Tyler Mooney was found guilty of 1 count each of false alarm to agency of public safety and 1 count each of conspiracy and recklessly endangering another person, all charged by the Mahanoy City Police Department. It took a jury less than an hour to find him guilty on those charges. According to police, Mooney set off the first false alarm around 3 a.m. last September at South 4th Street and East Mahanoy Avenue across from his home. The second false alarm occurred in the same location just 1 month later. Mooney is being held in the Schuylkill County Prison for lack of $3,000 bail. He is scheduled to be sentenced on December 9th. A Wilkes-Barre man pled guilty today for his involvement in a deadly shooting. 38-year-old Sean T. Thomas shot 40-year-old Derek Cottle in April of 2013. Thomas's son and Cottle's son had gone into an altercation 2 days prior to the shooting. Thomas told police that Cottle showed up in front of his house and threatened him. Thomas saw his son being struck and then fired several rounds. He pled guilty to third-degree homicide and was sentenced to 6 to 12 years in prison by Judge Richard Hughes in Luzerne County Court. He must also pay $11,000 in restitution. Pennsylvania's flood mitigation program awarded over $500,000 in state grants. Senator John Udicek made the announcement today. The city of Wilkes-Barre received $200,000 to repair sections of the retaining wall for the Solomon Creek area. Pittston City got nearly $236,000 to replace 569 linear feet of storm sewer along South Main Street. Hanover Township received a $75,000 grant through the Greenways, Trails and Recreation program. The money will be used to revitalize 8 neighborhood parks. Freeland received over $28,000 through the Sewage Facilities Program for the development of Joint Official Sewage Facilities Plan. Senator Udicek worked with state representatives Tara Toohill, Gerald Mullery, Mike Carroll, and Eddie Day-Pashinsky on getting the funding for the local communities. A Hanover Township man will spend the next 12 to 24 months behind bars after being found guilty of selling crack cocaine from his apartment on Boland Avenue. 38-year-old Egerton Wood, also known as Repo, pled guilty to those charges. Police say Wood sold cocaine within 1,000 feet of Hanover Area Memorial School at St. Mary's Road and Mike Lewis Lane on 2 separate days back in November of 2013. Luzerne County Judge Michael Vo sentenced him and gave Wood 324 days served in jail since his arrest back in December of 2013. Prosecutors withdrew 2 counts each of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance and possession of a controlled substance. Under current state law, anyone found guilty of selling illegal drugs near a school zone faces a mandatory 2-year prison sentence. A request to freeze over $150 million in legal fees owed to Robert Powell has been denied. Powell's former business partner, Gregory Zappalata, along with attorneys representing hundreds of juveniles involved in the Kids for Cash scandal, sought a freeze on 20% of the anticipated multi-million-dollar fee. Zappalata claims that he is owed a large payment as part of the largest environmental contamination recovery case on record. A $5.15 billion settlement was reached with Andarco Petroleum Corporation, which operated a plant in Avoca. A hearing was held last week before U.S. District Judge Richard Caputo in Wilkes-Barre. The judge stated that he lacked the authority to issue a preliminary injunction preventing Powell from disposing of the fees that they received from the litigation. Zappalata alleges that Powell stole millions from him and funneled nearly $3 million in kickbacks to former judges Mark Chivarella and Michael Conahan. Powell now resides in Florida after serving an 18-month prison sentence. Should the Hazleton City Council meetings be moved since the elevator is still not working? That question was asked tonight at Council's regular meeting. Our Gary Perna has more on this story.
Could Hazleton City Council be moving their meetings? Well, if one city council member has his way, that may happen. That's because the city is not in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act and providing an elevator to the second floor where council meets on a regular basis.
I don't know exactly where we can meet right now. I would look for a community room someplace, whether it be at a local church basement, whether it be in a local social agency basement, or not basement, but first floor, that would be accessible to everybody, because right now with the Americans with Disabilities Act, we have an obligation to make our meetings and this entire building accessible to people. And we're not doing that, unfortunately, at this particular point. That elevator is not allowing some people, unfortunately, access to the meetings that we have. And I don't think that that's appropriate. So I would just as soon like to have the President of Council move this.
The project is being paid for by Community Development Block Grant, and the work will begin shortly. The contract was awarded to Godstein Corporation of Hazleton. Now, the elevator work will begin soon and should end by mid-February. That's according to the Director of Community Development.
If it were to continue like this, and you know, obviously there's work under construction. You've got to give people time to work. Right. But if the mayor is not going to sign off on the work to be done, and we can't have people get to various floors of this building to get access to where we need to, then obviously that causes a problem that is not being addressed, is not being fixed. And when that would put us in violation, I'm not sure, but the fact is that eventually you've got to be, because ADA is very, very stringent on that.
Also, council let the firefighters' contract resolution die on the table since the solicitor did not get back to the city council with his opinions on whether it's legal or not. Council said they hope to put it back on the agenda for the next voting meeting to get the contract passed. Councilmember Dr. Dave Sosa, during council comments, said that he believes circulating a petition to have the mayor removed from office is not a bad idea, since the mayor believes that they can circulate petitions to get 10 new police officers added to the force.
Well, I only brought that up. I brought up the petition tonight because the mayor is so, instead of doing what he had asked us for, which was to put the question of police on the ballot, we were more than happy to do that. We want to help the police. We want to help the police help us and everyone else within the community. But the fact is now he's already going ahead and not only putting petitions out, but he's also put money into the budget already without ever consulting council, without ever consulting anybody, and I think it's inappropriate that we do it in that way. We've tried to address the issues as best we can for what everybody's asked, but now the game plans are being changed. And if he wants to live by a petition in that way, then I think that if he thinks petitions are that important, maybe he would live by one that would suggest that maybe it's time for him to leave.
Tonight, 5 new junior council advisors were sworn in for this school year. In Hazleton, for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
Area's biggest department stores held a fundraiser which benefited numerous nonprofit organizations. Our Julie Stefanovic has the story.
Boscov's hosted its Friends Helping Friends event today. Nonprofit organizations had the opportunity to sell shopping passes for $5, which is good for 25% off purchases throughout the store. The groups involved get to keep 100% of the ticket donations.
The reaction from the community is great. We do sell a lot. We've probably sold probably 600-700 this year, and everyone, they seek us out and they're trying to support the veterans, and so it is very good for us. Funds that are raised from this, which is $5 per pass, we use that throughout the year to go ahead and support different veterans organizations, different events that we put on, and that all through the year is able to go ahead and support us and throughout our organization.
We help do a lot of things for the football team. We feed them, we buy them equipment for the weight room, we give a banquet for them at the end of the year. We also, with the middle school program, we give them a spaghetti dinner, and we also have a scholarship program that we give out at least 10 or 12 scholarships up to we probably give about 8,000 or 9,000 a year in scholarships.
The fundraising function took place in all 43 stores today, including Hazleton.
The certificates are for 25% off the majority of items in our store, and that's in addition to sale prices. There's almost no exclusions with this because it's for nonprofit organizations, and there's areas included sometimes at lower percentages that normally don't get a discount. Cosmetics and fragrances is always a big one.
Friends Helping Friends have been going strong for 20 years. 40 to 50 organizations participate yearly. We spoke with Boscov's Regional Public Relations Manager, Irene Kelly.
It's great for the nonprofits. You can talk to some of the people in the store. Our groups that are here, they will tell you all about it, just how well they do. And our veterans, of course, who are here, have done well for the last 4 or 5 years. They've made a tremendous amount of money for the community, and it all stays in your community right here.
The event benefits not only the nonprofits, but also the shoppers who came out to support a good cause while also saving money on their purchases.
So I came and donated and got my discount card. It's a great idea, and it helps support the local charities, and I think it's a wonderful idea. I know there were a lot of other charities that were doing the same thing. It's a good thing that Boscov's does.
Ticket holders also had the chance to win many door prizes, including a $500 Boscov shopping spree. Community service agencies and schools throughout the area are invited to participate. If your organization is interested in the program, you can visit boscovs.com. Reporting for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Julie Stefanovic.
A bill that would remove a 5-year provision for state fire and EMS grant programs passed the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Today we spoke with the local state representative who initially introduced the bill. The Pennsylvania House of Representatives unanimously voted in favor of local state representative Jerry Knowles' House bill that would remove the 5-year consolidation merger incentive for receiving the agreed amount of grant funding in the state fire and EMS grant program and replace it with a 10-year incentive. This afternoon, WYLN spoke with State Representative Knowles about House Bill 2060.
What my legislation does is it's an incentive for fire companies and other emergency service providers to merge. In other words, if you have two fire companies that would merge, be they Fire Company A and Fire Company B, currently the law says that over a 5-year period that they continue to get those two grants. They continue to get grants for both of those fire companies. And therefore, that's an incentive for them to merge, because if they didn't do that, then that would mean when they merged that they would go from using a figure of $15,000, they would stay at that figure of $15,000.
Knowles says under current law, if 2 or more fire companies merge individually, they would be authorized to continue to receive grants for up to 5 years after the merger. Knowles explains what the current law is.
What this legislation does is it increases that from 5 years to 10 years. The original legislation that I introduced was in perpetuity. There was some negotiation that went on with the Fire Institute as well as some of the fire companies, and it was decided that the compromise would be if we would go rather in perpetuity, that we would go from 5 years to 10 years. And everybody seemed satisfied with that. We ran it out of the Emergency Service Veterans Affairs Committee. It passed unanimously. It then went to the floor of the House, and it passed unanimously in the House of Representatives.
Knowles hopes his bill helps the smaller and struggling fire companies become newer and larger entities and also become eligible for grant funding.
I think it's good legislation. I think it's helpful. Anything that we can do to help our volunteers, we need to do, because all of us know that they're a dying breed. All of us know that they're hurting in terms of the numbers of volunteers that they have. The numbers of volunteers have diminished greatly over the course of the last 20 years. We need to do things, not only legislation like this, but we need to find some meaningful legislation that will help our volunteers, help to recruit and help to retain volunteer firefighters, volunteer ambulance people, and volunteer people who run on the rescue squads.
Knowles says this bill is important to him, and it's something that he will continue to work on throughout his district.
People will realize it's something that we in the House have already done. I can tell you that the Senate is well aware of the legislation, and I think it'll be a quick move when we go back in January. It will be a quick move out of the House over to the Senate, and hopefully, they can work it through the process over there, and we can get it on to the new governor or the newly elected governor, be that Governor Corbett or Governor Wolf, and that hopefully they would sign it into law.
For more information on House Bill 2060, you may contact Knowles' district office in Tamaqua at 570-668-1240. The Pennsylvania Game Commission has lifted the ban on hunting in areas of Pike County affected by the search of Eric Freen. The decision was made today after the Game Commission met with Pennsylvania State Police investigators. The areas were off limits due to the manhunt of the accused cop killer. Hunting and trapping are still banned in Price, Barrett, and Paradise Townships in Monroe County, where the search still continues. The new owners of the Sherman Hills apartment complex have been complying with changes that are necessary in turning the complex around. According to Congressman Matt Cartwright, who heads the Sherman Hills Task Force, treetop developments have been cooperative and improvements are being made. Security cameras are being installed and a back gate has also been put in. They have hired a watchman and shifts are filled by off-duty police officers to patrol the area. Eviction procedures were also initiated. Cartwright has asked the owners to organize a tenants association. The task force will continue to monitor the complex over the next few years to make sure that everything remains up to code. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Coming up, Eric DeBarardinas is in with a look at high school football and what's to come this week. But first, it's time for a first look at our forecast with our very own Gary Perna, who's stepping in for Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik this evening. Gary is outside in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. It certainly was another dreary and chilly day here in northeastern Pennsylvania, but hopefully there is some warmer weather headed our way for the weekend. Gary?
Well, Ann, you are right. It was cold today. Some places even saw some rain. We'll get all that information coming up in a little bit. But let's take a look at the map up on your screen now. National high temperatures for the past 24 hours. It was a beautiful day to be in Las Vegas, maybe Phoenix, or in Texas, somewhere like that. It was really cold here, as you can see, although somewhere down D.C. and Washington saw 68s and 70s, so not bad all around our nation. We are back here now. We want to thank the Covered Wagon for providing us with our pumpkins and our bales of hay and our corn stalks here. They're located in Cybersville. Give them a call. They are open and ready to serve you for all of your decorating needs. We'll have your forecast coming up right after the break.
Welcome to Fairway Chevrolet, Pennsylvania's #1 truck dealer.
From the longest-lasting, most dependable full-size pickup, the tough all-new Silverado, to the rugged 3500 Chevy dump truck, Fairway has your truck.
Purchase any new Silverado, Tahoe, or Suburban from Fairway Chevrolet during the month of October and receive a $400 grocery gift card from our friends at Gould's Sure Save in Cunningham.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Here at Classic Floor Covering, we take pride in all our works of art. Take a look at a few. Classic Floor Covering. Who do you trust for your floor covering needs?
Are you having a party? Choose Catering by Whitetail for your next event. They offer on-site and off-site catering for all occasions: barbecues, picnics, corporate functions, reunions, friendly get-togethers, graduation parties. Any event you're hosting, Chef Tom will prepare the best for your guests. Call Chef Tom at 570-384-2314. Carry-out catering is also available. Choose Catering by Whitetail for your next event.
Flipping your pillow. If you feel like you're on fire, you need Chillo, the new pillow pack that transforms your pillow into a Chillo. Look, regular pillows get hot quickly, but Chillo brings soothing cooling to your head. The secret is Soothe Soft technology, water-cooled memory foam. He likes the room hot, she likes the room cold. Chillo cradles you in comfort, so you'll feel like you're in a cool oasis.
I've been experiencing hot flashes and night sweats, but with Chillo, it's instant cool, instant relief, and it's wonderful.
Chillo is the perfect cool compress for headaches, backaches, or foot pain. Ultra Suede Chillo lets you chill out in total relaxation. Now order the Chillo for just $12.99. Call now and get a second Chillo as a bonus. Just pay separate processing and handling. You get 2 Chillos for just $12.99 plus processing and handling. So call now.
To order, call 1-800-470-0174. That's 1-800-470-0174. Or visit Chillo.com.
Ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, this is Staff Sergeant Eric Olson from Warrior Summit Outdoors. You might think it's fall. You'd be wrong, because it's hunting season. You want to see the perfect day? A bunch of the combat vets and myself, we went out harvesting a bunch of pheasant and cooking them into a great feast. The only thing we had missing was a Sasquatch sighting. This week on Warrior Summit Outdoors. So good.
Welcome back to Late Edition, everyone. I'm Gary Perna, filling in for Joe Garbacik. Well, when Ann threw it to me and I was standing outside, I was showing you this graphic, and we talked about the high temperatures for the past 24 hours. But now let's take a look and see what they are currently. There's some changes Still out towards Vegas and Phoenix, still pretty warm. Back here at home, we're still seeing some pretty cool temperatures. Now, temperatures right here in Pennsylvania the last 24 hours, well, 62, 55, 60, they're livable. It was a little cool going out today. This morning it was a little cool at the bus stop for everyone. But those temperatures are sticking around. Now the low temperatures, we saw 46, 47. We didn't get into the 30s, but it felt like it if you were outside today. Now the state accumulation, the rainfall for the past 24 hours, very low. You know, 9/100ths of an inch, 8/100ths of an inch, 3/100ths of an inch in Williamsport. Those numbers are going to rise, unfortunately, as we talk here in a little bit. Doppler radar showing us really there's nothing going on. Nothing, as we can see in Hazleton, Bloomsburg, Danville, Berwick, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. Not seeing much of anything. Calm a little bit up here by the T and Tunkhannock, but that's about all we're seeing. Currently, it is 48 degrees outside our WYLN studios. We had 3/100ths of an inch of rainfall here today. Like I said, just a little drizzle. Regionally today, Nanticoke, Wilkes-Barre, Kingston, Pittston, Lehman, 50s into the 40s. You know, calm weather day, I guess you can say, through Nongola, Berwick, Shenandoah, Mahanoy City, Jim Thorpe, Tamaqua, Lehigh, and Bloomsburg, Danville, Scranton, all staying in that 40s to 50 range today. All right, let's take a look currently outside. It's 51 in Mount Pocono, 55 in Williamsport, 54 in Avoca up at the airport, 55 Williamsport, 47 out in Bradford, Erie coming in at 49. Now this is what we're going to see a little bit of in the coming days. Out here is Pittsburgh. It's turning. It's pushing up towards the Hazleton area. It may fizzle out. It may not. Hopefully tomorrow Joe Garbach will be able to give you a little bit better. We're going to see this and what impact it had on us today. Closer to home here, State College right below it. It's kind of Harrisburg. Everything down in here getting a little bit of rain the past 6 hours. Now, what we're looking at for the next 48 hours, you see down here New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, they're kind of seeing some rain up into New York, and it's kind of staying away from us, a little bit above us as we just saw. Nothing too major. And here, a little closer look, we see Hazleton, we're staying kind of clear. Hazleton, Berwick, Wilkes-Barre, we're going to see maybe a little bit, but not too bad. Closer to home, as you see, it's skipping by our viewing area and hitting a little bit to the north. For tomorrow's travel cast conditions, we're going to see rain. And period of end of sentence, we're going to see rain. 58 in Selinsgrove, 52 in Mount Pocono, 58 in Allentown. You're heading out to work. Wilkes-Barre, 57. We're going to see rain, unfortunately. Accumulation, well, there it is. Or throughout the day, this is going into Thursday at 10 p.m. This is what we're going to see. So not a lot going on, maybe just a little sprinkle here or there. Something maybe slow us down throughout the day. And again, closer to home, we're seeing about the same. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by The Pines, which is located in downtown Hazleton. And the Marco Building. Wednesday, we're going to see rain, high 55. Thursday, rain again. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not bad. Saturday maybe the pick of the weekend, 61 degrees. The Pines has also great salad, great appetizers, great sandwiches, and so much more. Make sure you give them a call. Stay with us here on Late Edition. Eric D. Berardinas is coming up next with sports, here only here on WYLN.
The Marriott Fairfield Inn and Suites of Hazleton awaits you. Our Fairfield Inn provides you with just the travel experience you're looking for. Meeting room space, jacuzzi suites, indoor pool, whirlpool, and dry sauna. The Residence Inn is perfect for temporary housing in the greater Hazleton area. An all-suite property with evening reception, sport court, fire pit, and outdoor grill area. At the Hampton Inn, enjoy our on-site lounge and restaurant, outdoor pool with spacious deck and spectacular valley views, and a hot breakfast daily. Whichever property you choose, you can be certain of clean, modern facilities, friendly staff, and impeccable service.
Come to the Laurel Ball Wednesday, October 29th at 6:30 for their new live program, Halloween. It will allow children to learn about owls and other creatures of the night. Candy and coloring books are provided on a first-come, first-served basis. Costumes and curiosity are welcomed.
Bayberry Candles, known for the purity of their wax, their fine quality, smooth velvety appearance, and natural fragrance. These coveted rare candles are a cherished holiday gift-giving tradition. Now available for holiday pre-ordering at Kathleen's Collectibles and Drums only until November 2nd. Don't delay. Call Kathleen and Virginia Jane today.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. For chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and trophy trout fishermen, which is why we've built our new Discoverer AT3 for all traction, all terrain, all the time performance. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
All you want to do is wrap up a sandwich or leftovers, but dealing with plastic wrap and foil leaves you in a tangled mess.
Hi, Mark Gill here for Wraptastic, the super smart dispenser that lets you pull, press, and wrap just like that.
Simply load in your wrap and you're ready to roll. Plastic wrap, foil wrap, wax paper, and more. Wraptastic cuts perfectly every time, so there's no waste. Wraptastic has a safer, hidden stainless steel cutter that cuts only the wrap and only when you need it to. Ready to change rolls? It's spring-loaded, so it's easy out and easy in. Wraptastic is dishwasher safe and fits right in the drawer. Put Wraptastic to work in your home today for just $10.99. Call right now and we'll send you a second Wraptastic as a bonus. Just pay separate processing and handling. As a special gift, I'm going to fill your Wraptastics with a roll of foil and a roll of plastic absolutely free. You get 2 Wraptastics, 2 rolls of wrap, a huge value for just $10.99. Here's how to order.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
Last year against Ohio State, Penn State suffered their worst loss since the 1800s. Saturday, the two meet again, with the Nittany Lions just hoping to get this season back on track.
Really excited about the opportunity and more.
On Saturday, Franklin and Penn State will welcome the number 12 team in the country to their house for a primetime whiteout. Franklin, in that soundbite, says that he was finally ready to move into his house this week, so excited to get the players over for dinner. But the thing that's going to happen, Penn State very excited for their home crowd, 107,000 strong. We'll have much more on that matchup throughout the week. Moving elsewhere in college football, number 7 versus number 8 in Division II football set to clash this weekend. Westchester and Bloomsburg, the lone undefeated teams remaining in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Westchester enters averaging 44 points a game, but the Huskies boast a much improved defense.
The kids are excited about it. I mean, we've been playing good defense. I mean, we know that, you know, I don't know that we expect to shut them down, but we know the things that we feel like we have to do to stop them, and the kids are excited about it.
Following a 13-tackle, 2-sack effort against Kutztown, Huskies middle linebacker Justin Shirk was named the PSAC Defensive Player of the Week for the 3rd time this season.
A player that talented that can do those many things, you've got to put him in positions to make plays, and hopefully we've done a good enough job of that. And he's a smart kid, it's been in the system, so he just makes plays. I mean, every week when you watch the film, you're like, wow. I mean, he does some stuff that's pretty good.
Westchester ended Bloomsburg's season last year with a 40-38 win in the playoffs. District playoffs in high school are approaching, and at one time it looked like Dallas was a sure bet to secure a spot, but they are no longer in control of their own destiny. The Mountaineers get Pittston this week, and they still maintain high hopes.
Well, you know, we're in a 3-game losing streak, of course, but we played some really good competition in there. The kids are upbeat. They're looking forward to the upcoming week. We expect to have a good performances coming Saturday, and it's our senior day and homecoming day, so we're going to be excited about it.
Dallas proved themselves with a 4-1 start, but does that process start over now that they stand 4-4?
I think you look to prove yourself every week when you go out. We had a good first half of the season. Expectations were high, but again, we had some real good competition in the start of the second half of the season, and we expect that it's going to continue in the next 2 games as well. But we got to take one game at a time.
Much more high school football coverage throughout the week, but later in sports we take a look at the district playoffs in other sports, including Dallas soccer, as well as featuring our student athlete of the week. Coming up next though, Ann will have a recap of today's news.
Welcome to Fairway Chevrolet, Pennsylvania's #1 truck dealer.
From the longest-lasting, most dependable full-size pickup, the tough all-new Silverado, to the rugged 3500 Chevy dump truck, Fairway has your truck. Express cargo van, 2500 utility, 3500 cube, 3500 cube utility with service body, or we'll upfit any body style to meet your needs. Sales, service, or parts.
Make no mistake about it, Fairway Chevrolet is Pennsylvania's #1 truck dealer.
This is a home. This is your neighbor's home. This is another home furnished by Grand Central. All these rooms in all these homes makes everybody so happy. It's so easy to do. It's your room made your way. It's local. It's Grand Central. This week at Grand Central, the price on the floor is the price to your door and not 1 cent more. No tax, no delivery, no kidding. It's now. Floor to door prices. Everybody shops Grand Central, making your house a home.
Well, I'll never forget it. 1 minute, we're talking about going to the movies, and the next, Maggie could barely speak. It was a stroke. I thought I was going to lose her. But I never saw doctors work so fast. Anyway, she's coming home tomorrow. I just hope she doesn't yell at me for killing all the plants.
Lewis & Freeman Real Estate Drum Sales Team is proud to be the top-selling office in the greater Hazleton area and part of the leading firm in Luzerne County. As members of the leading real estate companies of the world, the buyers and sellers can count on exceptional service and national strength. Known for their cutting-edge marketing, user-friendly website, and customer-oriented tools such as LF Home Finder, Lewis & Freeman brings buyers and sellers together. Call today. The Lewis & Freeman Drum Sales Professionals are committed to be your real estate source.
As WYLN reported to you last night, a man was robbed at gunpoint in the area of 9th and James Streets in Hazleton. Police are still searching for the suspects who approached the victim around 10 p.m. with a gun and demanded money. The first suspect is described as a black male with a thin build, around 5 foot 5 inches tall, with bushy black hair, wearing a white t-shirt. The second suspect is a black male around 6 feet 1 inch tall, with a thin build, wearing a dark hooded sweatshirt. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Hazleton City Police Department at 570-459-4940 or dial 911. A Freeland man was taken into custody Monday on 24 felony counts of possessing and sharing child pornography on his computer. 35-year-old Anthony Stefanik of Walnut Street was charged with 22 counts of child pornography and 1 count each of disseminating film of child sex acts. Law enforcement from the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General's Child Predator Section is investigating the case along with the Freeland Police Department. According to arrest papers, an online investigation into those possessing and sharing child porn using peer-to-peer file sharing on August 27th. Several suspected child pornography files were linked to a computer in Stefanik's home. A search warrant was served just after 8:30 a.m. on Monday. Stefanik admitted to police that he downloaded child porn for the past year and says he deletes the files after they are downloaded. Stefanik was arraigned by District Magistrate James Dixon and is now behind bars, unable to post a $100,000 bail. A man who fathered 6 children with a girl who he began sexually assaulting when she was 15 years old pleaded guilty to sexual assault and child endangerment charges. 46-year-old John Dehart, formerly of Hanover Township, will face a 5-year mandatory minimum prison sentence and was ordered to complete sex offender therapy on account of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a person under 16 years of age. Police allege that Dehart called the 15-year-old his wife during a long-term relationship that produced least 6 children. He was first arrested in October of 2013 on 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. DeHart was charged in April in the sexual assault case where it states that he started having sex with the teen once a week when she was 15. DeHart remains behind bars at the Luzerne County Prison and was ordered by a judge to not have any unsupervised contact with minors and to avoid schools, parks, playgrounds, libraries, and pools. He will be sentenced on February 13th of 2015. A 20-year-old Monoy City man who triggered a false alarm in the city back in October of 2013 was found guilty by a jury in Schuylkill County Court. Tyler Mooney was found guilty of 1 count each of false alarm to agency of public safety and 1 count each of conspiracy and recklessly endangering another person, all charged by the Monoy City Police Department. It took a jury less than an hour to find him guilty on those charges. According to police, Mooney set off the first false alarm around 3 a.m. last September at South 4th and South 4th Street and East Monoy Avenue across from his home. The second false alarm occurred in the same location just 1 month later. Mooney is being held in the Schuylkill County Prison for lack of $3,000 bail. He is scheduled to be sentenced on December 9th. A Wilkes-Barre man pled guilty today for his involvement in a deadly shooting. 38-year-old Sean T. Thomas shot 40-year-old Derek Cottle in April of 2013. Thomas's son and Cottle's son had gotten into an altercation 2 days prior to the shooting. Thomas told police that Cottle showed up in front of his house and threatened him. Thomas saw his son being struck and then fired several rounds. He pled guilty to third-degree homicide and was sentenced to 6 to 12 years in prison by Judge Richard Hughes in Luzerne County Court. He must also pay $11,000 in restitution. Should the Hazleton City Council meetings be moved since the elevator is still not working? That question was asked tonight at Council's regular meeting. Our Gary Perna has more on this story.
Could Hazleton City Council be moving their meetings? Well, if one city council member has his way, that may happen. That's because the city is not in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act and providing an elevator to the second floor where council meets on a regular basis.
I don't know exactly where we can meet right now. I would look for a community room someplace, whether it be at a local church basement, whether it be in a local social agency basement, or not basement, but first floor, that would be accessible to everybody. Because right now, with the Americans with Disabilities Act, we have an obligation to make our meetings and this entire building accessible to people. And we're not doing that, unfortunately, at this particular point. That elevator is not allowing some people, unfortunately, access to the meetings that we have. And I don't think that that's appropriate. So I would just as soon like to have the President of Council move this.
The project is being paid for by Community Development Block Grant, and the work will begin shortly. The contract was awarded to Godstein Corporation of Hazleton. Now, the elevator work will begin soon and should end by mid-February. That's according to the Director of Community Development.
If it were to continue like this, and you know, obviously there's work under construction. You've got to give people time to work. Right. But if the mayor is not going to sign off on the work to be done, and we can't have people get to various floors of this building to get access to where we need to, then obviously that causes a problem that is not being addressed, is not being fixed. And when that would put us in violation, I'm not sure, but the fact is that eventually you've got to be, because ADA is very, very stringent on that.
Also, Council let the firefighters' contract resolution die on the table since the solicitor did not get back to the City Council with his opinions on whether it's legal or not. Council said they hope to put it back on the agenda for the next voting meeting to get the contract passed. Councilmember Dr. Dave Sosa, during council comments, said that he believes circulating a petition to have the mayor removed from office is not a bad idea, since the mayor believes that they can circulate petitions to get 10 new police officers added to the force.
Well, I only brought that up. I brought up the petition tonight because the mayor is so, instead of doing what he had asked us for, which was to put the question of police on the ballot, we were more than happy to do that. We want to help the police. We want to help the police help us and everyone else within the community. But the fact is now he's already going ahead and not only putting petitions out, but he's also put money into the budget already without ever consulting counsel, without ever consulting anybody, and I think it's inappropriate that we do it in that way. We've tried to address the issues as best we can for what everybody's asked, but now the game plans are being changed. And if he wants to live by a petition in that way, then I think that if he thinks petitions are that important, maybe he would live by one that would suggest that maybe it's time for him to leave.
Tonight, 5 new junior council advisors were sworn in for this school year. In Hazleton, for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Coming up, Eric DeBaradinas is back with more sports here on Late Edition, including his pick for this week's Student Athlete of the Week. But first, let's head back outside for another check on our forecast with Gary, who is back in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Gary?
Well, Ann, it is getting a little cool out here tonight. It's calm. I don't see nothing going on above me. We're going to take a look at your forecast in a bit, but let's go to the radar. There is not a lot going on. We see a little bit around Tunkhannock, maybe a little bit up above Scranton. That's it. The rest of the place, we are clear, and hopefully we're staying that way for the next couple days, but we are not. We'll get into all the rainy details coming up in a little bit, but we want to thank the Covered Wagon for providing us with these pumpkins, hail bays, the straw, everything here in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Again, the Covered Wagon located down in Sybertsville. Eric's coming up on sports when we return here on Late Edition.
Hey football fans, do you score field goals or do you score touchdowns? Do you settle for the extra point or do you go for 2? At Burger Family Dealerships on Route 93, we have the winning combination and you'll score more with us. Stop in and check out their touchdown deals. Come in, score big, and win. Burger Family Dealerships, Route 93, near the Laurel Mall, your championship auto dealer.
Compassionate, experienced health and hospice care delivered right in your home. That's what Malath Valley Health System's known for throughout Columbia, Luzerne, and surrounding counties. It's your choice, and your loved ones deserve the very best. Tell your doctor you want Malath Health and experience why we've become the trusted choice of more and more families. Visit malathhealth.com today for more information.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
It's high school football time. Watch WILN for all the local high school football action as we bring you the event, not just the highlights, like only WILN can. Watch the game of the week right here on WILN. We're your local network. For the best in local sports, watch WILN TV 35. The event, not just the highlights.
Hazleton area field hockey in action tomorrow for the semifinals of district playoffs, and tonight we feature the Lady Cougars' Selena Garzio as WILN's Student Athlete of the Week.
Selena Garzio's name fills the Hazleton area record books, but that almost wasn't the case.
I actually in 4th grade told myself that I wasn't going to play, and because my sister was in 7th grade and that's when she was playing, but I picked up a stick and a ball and I fell in love with it from the second that I picked it up.
It appears that Garzio made the right decision. The senior is a 4-year letter winner, 4-year starter, 2014 co-captain, 2-time Pennsylvania All-State member, 3-time Junior Olympian, and not to mention a very vocal leader.
In 9th grade, my sister had to tell me to shut up because I was too vocal. So yeah, I've always been the type that definitely commands the field. In a nice way, though. It's awesome because to have like all of my team looking up to me is amazing.
Garzio lists playing with her sister Kayla as one of her favorite experiences with the team, as well as beating Coughlin this season. She will attend the University of Pennsylvania next year to study nursing and continue her field hockey career. Currently, she is taking AP classes and is a part of the National Honor Society. With a hectic schedule, the sport she loves provides an escape.
It's definitely hard, but it keeps me sane. It's kind of a relief to come to practice from school because it's like it's 2.5 hours of just your mind is off of everything and you're here to practice, and it gets your mind off of different things in school that happened, and it's just a very big reliever for me.
Opposing coaches may be relieved that they soon won't have to game plan for Garzio's skill and leadership. It's evident Hazelton's all-time leading scorer has left her mark not only in the record books, but in the classroom and on the field.
The Lady Cougars travel to Wyoming Valley West tomorrow for the chance to reach the District 2 Class 3A finals. District 2 Class 2A boys soccer quarterfinals today, with 4-seed Dallas hosting 13-seed Berwick. The Mountaineers 12-3-1 in the Wyoming Valley Conference regular season, and they pile up the opportunities early on. Through ball to Xabi Mendizabal is a little too far and swallowed up by the Bulldogs goalie. Next, a header attempt off the corner kick goes just wide. Mountaineers' Jake Wood trying to make things happen on his own. Tricky footwork with the Bulldogs unable to contain Wood. Launches the shot, but a diving stop. Eventually the chances turn into goals for Dallas. After I leave, of course, they notch 9 scores and win by a final of 9-0. Dallas moves on to the winner of Western Wayne Crestwood, which you'll find out in just a minute. But first, World Series begins tonight. I'm not going to tell you the cost of a gallon of milk in 1985 or what minimum wage was. That's what the internet is for. I'm just going to tell you it has been a long time since the Royals were in the Fall Classic. It hasn't been long at all for the Giants, who won in 2010 and 2012. Kansas City hosting Game 1 against San Francisco right now. James Shields on the mound for the Royals, Madison Bumgarner for the Giants. Plus, we have results from District 2 playoffs in tonight's scoreboards. First, a reminder, Gary Perna is next with your upcoming forecast. Stay tuned, more Late Edition is headed your way.
Tri-County Business Machines has been serving the Hazleton area with office supplies and furniture for over 35 years. We are your local Kyocera dealer for all your digital Kyocera copiers, printers, and faxes. For exceptional reliability, sales, and service, the call to make is to Tri-County Business Machines. Tri-County Business Machines, keeping your office up to speed. Tri-County Business Machines, located at 117 East Broad Street, Hazleton. Phone 459-0754, or visit us on the web at tricountybm.com.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
Sometimes things happen, and when they do, visit Harry's You Pull It. With the largest selection of parts and the best pricing, Harry's is the choice for your auto project. Whether it's a hobby or necessity, pull the parts you need for your next auto project at Harry's You Pull It. When you need to work on your car, visit Harry's You Pull It, with locations in Pennsburg, Allentown, and Hazleton. Online at WeGotUsed.com.
Mowing and practically no watering or fertilizing?
Hi, Bob Vila here with a breakthrough in grass seed that can give you great green grass. It's called Grassology. Its roots extend 4 times deeper than ordinary grass to reach the good stuff that's underground, like water and nutrients. And the best part, Grassology reaches a dwarf height, so there's a lot less mowing. Guaranteed. We've all seen bare patches, bald spots, or brown spots caused by pets. Try Grassology. It naturally fights against disease, insects, even weeds, saving you time and money.
Call or go online now and get 1 pound of Grassology for just $14.99. But if you call right now, you can double the order to 2 pounds. Plus, you can also get a 25-foot Pocket Hose Ultra Grassology for $14.99. Call now.
You'll be glad you did.
Call 1-800-503-3449. And today you can get a special Grassology double offer and the Pocket Hose Ultra. So call 1-800-503-3449. Call now.
Welcome to Fairway Chevrolet, Pennsylvania's #1 truck dealer.
From the longest-lasting, most dependable full-size pickup, the tough all-new Silverado, to the rugged 3500 Chevy dump truck, Fairway has your truck.
Purchase any new Silverado, Tahoe, or Suburban from Fairway Chevrolet during the month of October and receive a $400 grocery gift card from our friends at Gould's Sure Save in Cunningham.
Well, looking at the satellite and radar for the past 6 hours, not a lot going on. We talked about that a little earlier, just some stuff out by Pittsburgh, some rain, and even up by moving up from Baltimore. A little closer to home, State College, Harrisburg, that area we're seeing some rain the past 6 hours. We were just seeing sprinkles here or there. I know when I walked outside this morning, I put the dogs out, it was wet, so we saw a little bit of that earlier today. Looking now, what we're going to see tonight into Wednesday, into Thursday, everything's kind of happening way out here. Jersey's going to get wet, New York, maybe even a little bit of Delaware. Pretty much everything away from us, closer to home for the next 48 hours. Again, like I said earlier, everything's just kind of around the greater Hazleton area. We're going to see maybe a little bit here or there. Nothing big and major as we move throughout. Tomorrow's travel cast conditions, we're going to see rain. It's going to be in the 50s. It's going to be in the 60s some places. Not going to go higher than that. 59 down by Philly, 57 Wilkes-Barre, Selinsgrove, 58. And taking a look, what we could see tomorrow into Wednesday into Thursday closer to home with some numbers, 21 hundredths of an inch in Selinsgrove, Allentown, 37 hundredths, looking like that. All right, your 7-day forecast brought to you by the brought to you by the Pines on Broad Street in downtown Hazleton. Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to see rain, 55, 54, your high temperatures for the next 2 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, well, weekend's going to look pretty nice so far. Pick of the weekend's probably going to be Saturday, 61 degrees. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, of course that's out there a little bit, but hey, we're going to see some clouds, some sun, not too bad out there. Low temperatures really aren't that low yet. We're seeing 46s, 43s, 42s, a 44 in there. We didn't see that magic number 32. So I'm happy with that. But if you suffer from allergies like me, you're probably waiting for that good first freeze to kill everything so you could stop sneezing, runny noses. I'm all for that, waiting for it.
Say that.
Listen, I don't want the cold weather as much as the next guy, but I want the freeze to happen so I can stop sneezing, so I can actually breathe again through my nose. I'm sorry.
Explanation.
You know, I try here. You know.
Hey, Eric's waiting for his first northeastern Pennsylvania snowstorm.
Yeah, I mean, I dealt with it a little bit in State College, so I'm not totally unfamiliar with the cold weather. But
hey, up here at the studios, it's a completely different world.
Yeah?
Yeah, you go a block down, nothing. It's a completely different world. You're not really sure, so.
No, I'm getting ready for it, but at least so far, we say it every week, every day. High school football, it's held off. We'll see if it holds off for this Friday, but week 9, it's not too many more times that we're going to be able to say that.
And there's not many years that actually happens, where there's not a postponement or there's not a complete downpour.
That's been good.
I don't think we saw snow last year during football season.
No, but there was
even rain.
We've avoided rain.
Yeah. Looking
So-
good.
It's been great.
They're, Mother Nature's, of course, looking down on us. But Student Athlete of the Week, fantastic.
Yes.
Congratulations, University of Pennsylvania.
I continue to be amazed by all the Hazleton area athletes in these sports. We cover football a lot, giving attention to the ones that we don't cover as much, but equally good on the field and in the classroom. Selena was tremendous to talk to, and they have a game tomorrow. District 2 playoffs start tomorrow for Hazleton Field Hockey.
All right, well, good luck, girls, and good luck to the coaches as well, and, and of course, good luck to Selena as she moves on after high school.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Very impressive.
All right, looking forward to next week's Student Athlete of the Week. Have a great night, everyone. The team will be back here, and maybe Joe, maybe Gary. We're not sure, so make sure you tune in to check it out. We'll see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Have a good one.